Harshita, come.
Namaste, sir.
Good afternoon. Come sit.
Namaste.
Better. So what are you doing these days, Harshita?
Sir, I am currently fully focused on preparing for UPSC, sir.
Okay. So that is why you had written that discontinued. I couldn't figure out what you meant. Consultancy, discontinued, not currently self-employed.
Yes, sir.
So when you were doing the consultancy, you were actually self-employed or you were working with this company, Kutch Chemical Industries?
Sir, actually, I am a chartered accountant by profession.
Yes, I know.
So, I worked for a brief period of 1 year in the company, as mentioned, Kutch Chemicals. So, I was
Okay.
an independent consultant there.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You were not an employee?
No, sir.
Okay. And now you have left that. You left it only 6 months or so ago.
Sir, it's
May
going
24.
to... Yes, May.
Okay. Good. Your father is general manager.
Yes, sir.
In which company?
Sir, Panoli Intermediate, sir.
So what do they make?
So they make chemical dyes, and they also have certain procedures called nitration, chlorination. So they particularly make chemicals for the processing industries, sir.
Okay. Recently, there was Bhopal was in news with reference to something to do with the Bhopal gas tragedy. Did you read that news?
Yes, sir.
What was it?
Sir, it was related to the disposal of the waste that had been generated in the Union Carbide Corporation, and recently the government has taken steps to dispose the waste.
What was that waste?
Sir, it was related to the waste generated from the production of fertilizers, sir. It had,
What is okay, fine, that is fine. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But what was the substance which caused the tragedy?
Sir, as far as I remember, it was methyl isocyanate gas, sir.
Okay, good. You have offered PS and IR.
Yes, sir.
When is your interview?
Sir, 7th April.
Oh, it's a long distance.
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. So let me very briefly ask you, what are the factors which have helped in India's rise in the world order?
Sir, in my opinion, the first factor would be the change in stance of India from being a defensive player to being an assertive one in the international
number
order.
one. Okay.
Apart from that, India's focus on its soft power diplomacy. So, India values soft power more than its hard power capabilities, which have also helped in building the trust with other countries.
One more. I give you one more.
Sir, can I get a minute to think?
Yeah.
Sir, another factor which I feel is India's values of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, which have helped India's stature in the global economy, sir.
Do you think that in diplomacy such soft things really matter? It is all about power and your importance. So supposing we didn't have a very high GDP and therefore presence as a good market, or we didn't have so many qualified Indians working all over the world, and also our own technical advantages in defense and some other sectors. Do you think with merely soft power and our so-called emphasis on Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, we would have risen?
Sir, in my opinion, all the countries have technical capabilities, all the countries have their economic advantages as well. But what comes after that is the soft power capabilities, which India has, is what makes it unique.
Okay, let
Among
me
other
then
countries.
ask you, Harshita, we had this soft power 40 years ago also. Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam is not new.
Yes, sir, I agree that the values have been with India since many
And
years.
our other soft power is not new. And India was actually leading a non-aligned movement. Actually, we launched, so we were in a way assertive. So none of those things to me appear to be new. I mean, please enlighten me.
So these values have been with India since a long time.
So you therefore, in short, you think that these three factors which you enumerated, they are more important than our economic rise or technological advancements to the. That's what you are telling me in short.
No, sir. I would like to reframe it in a manner that economic capabilities and technological advantages are important for any country. However,
No, because earlier you said every country has that. So you had already told me that that is there with every country, but this soft power only we have. So are you wanting to reconsider your position?
no, sir.
No.
All I'm
Okay.
trying to say is economic power and technological capabilities are there with every country, and so with India.
Are they there with every country? Are you willing to really say that? I mean, I just want to understand. Please educate me.
Sir, each and every country has its own set of advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
So, coming back to India, India also has its economic capabilities
Okay.
and technological advantages.
Okay.
However, what makes India different from others?
Okay, thank you. That's okay. That's enough.
Yes,
Now, tell me, how is what? If supposing I asked you to develop an index to work out the global gender gap in India. Different states, let's say we want to compare. So how would you develop a India state-wise gender gap index?
So, to make an index, I would consider various factors with respect to the participation of women and men in sectors like education, healthcare, as well as the political participation. Through those participatory data, then I would.
So can you tell me, for instance, if you have to do it for health, how would you compare?
Sir, with respect to health, I will look after the accessibility of healthcare with respect to the men and females. And apart from that, I will look after the services which are provided to the female in particular. The maternity health benefits, are they accessible to the females or not?
But that is not available to men in any case, so there is no comparison. We are talking of gender gap. But even let us say health services to male and female, how would you measure it? These indices, you should think of some measure of it. How would you measure it?
Sir, I would look after the registrations or the enrollments in the hospitals with respect to the male and female patients. With that, I would be able to assess that how many females are getting access to the healthcare and how many male patients are able to get access. Through that, I will get a preliminary assessment of the.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Harshita,
Yes, sir.
your parents are from Rajasthan.
Yes, sir.
You were born in Haryana.
Yes, sir.
Now you are in Gujarat.
Sir.
Compare these three states in terms of economic development, various indicators.
Sir, with respect to Haryana is primarily an agrarian economy. Its major strength is related to the agriculture sector. So, Haryana is the largest exporter of basmati rice. Around 60% of the exports of basmati are from Haryana, sir. With respect to the state of Gujarat is a pioneer in the industrial sector. So, with respect to Gujarat, there are various USPs which can be pertain to GIFT City and the Dholera Special Investment Region and its own semiconductor policy. So, through these policies, the businesses are focusing on investments in Gujarat. With respect to Rajasthan, sir, in Rajasthan also there is primarily a focus on the agriculture part. And if I compare the social indicators of all the three economies, Gujarat has comparatively better social indicators as compared to Haryana and Rajasthan. However, with government efforts and public participation, the social indicators are improving in Haryana and Rajasthan as well, sir.
Okay, very good. Is Donald Trump likely to disrupt the geopolitics and geoeconomics?
So the wave of Honorable President-elect Donald Trump, sir, is definitely stirring the global economy, and each and every economy is trying to amend its foreign policies in order to take forward the Donald Trump's stance forward. However, with respect to India, sir, our foreign minister has time and again reiterated that India is not concerned with Donald Trump's ascent as president, and India-USA relations will only soar higher in the coming future, sir. So, with respect to India, the disruption is less likely, sir.
Why is he saying this when he has threatened tariff increase against India also?
Sir, President-elect Donald Trump is focusing on USA's national interests. So his policies are guided by the national interest of USA. So the tariff hikes are primarily focused on countries like Canada, Mexico and China per se. However, there are certain sectors in which USA feels that India has an advantage. So with respect to his national interests, Donald Trump has said that he will increase the tariffs in certain sectors.
For national interest,
Yes.
can he attack Denmark and can he attack Canada? Disrupt others' national interest? Will he attack his own allies? He wants Greenland back, wants Canada to be the 51st state.
Sir, if I look at from a geopolitical perspective, so Donald Trump is acting in his national interest. He is doing whatever he can for his country's interest. So politically, he is doing the right thing. However, if we look at the ethical dimensions of it, then it would be morally wrong to say that he should be attacking his own allies, because the allies have also helped him, help America become what America is at the present scenario. So if we look at the geopolitical perspective, each and every country is guided by its own national interests, and that's what Donald Trump sir is doing, sir. However, ethically, he should reconsider his position, sir.
Okay, it is sometimes said that foreign policies don't affect national development. Is it true?
No, sir. Foreign policy has a major role to play on the country's national development, as the relations with the foreign countries also help in fostering investments in our own country, which ultimately leads to national development. So national development and foreign policy of a country are linked, sir.
Okay, but what is foreign policy doing to FDIs falling, net FDIs falling, FPIs outflows rising, rupee depreciating? How is foreign policy affecting these things?
Sir, the current scenario of FPI outflows and the depreciation of rupee are guided by the short-term uncertainty, which is pertaining in the market, sir. However, in the long-term scenario, the stability of the relations between India-US will help in stabilizing the markets. So, foreign policy will help in the long-term stabilization of the country's economies. However, the current scenario is guided by short-term uncertainty, which will settle in the near future, sir.
Okay, all this time we were saying that we'll have good relations with Russia. We have been having for years, and especially now, since we are importing cheap oil from there, it is in our national interest.
So,
Recent sanctions by US against Russian oil, their tankers, has again our oil import from Russia has stopped, come down to a great extent. Now our interest is no longer there in Russia. So we should change our stance, support the Ukraine war, perhaps.
sir, in my opinion, any country's sanctions will not affect India's position, as India is guided by strategic autonomic interests. So India's decisions are independent of any other country's external pressures or opinions. despite the USA's threatening of sanctions, India has been firm on its position and India has been acting in her national interest. So India's acquisition of cheap oil from Russia in no way affects the relations with India or Russia and India and USA. Both are independent of one another and India is firmly acting in its own strategic interests, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Harshita, you born in Hisar.
Yes, sir.
So I think you born and brought up in Vadodara.
I was born in Hisar, sir. However, my schooling and my graduation has been from Vadodara, sir.
Vadodara. So you're more like Gujarati than a Haryanvi.
Sir.
Okay. So did you like this Gujarat governance model?
Yes, sir. Gujarat government's model has been renowned entirely in entire India, and other governments are also trying to replicate the Gujarat model in their states as well, sir.
On what ground you like this Gujarat model? Some reason, right? And you also taken a lead by saying other states also want to emulate.
Yes, sir.
This is your second argument. Tell me why. What are the reasons in which you started liking this model?
So, sir, when the separation of Gujarat and Mumbai happened, at that time, the industrial hub of the entire Gujarat state was concentrated in Mumbai. So, Gujarat was particularly had to start afresh. However, with particular investments and the government support helped in rapid industrialization of the economy of Gujarat. Apart from that, its focus on investments in agriculture boosted the agricultural output as well, sir. So, till date, Gujarat's agricultural output has seen growth in double digits, sir, which pertains to the boost of investment from the government as well as support from the farmers. Apart from that, sir, a unique point of Gujarat's model is its strength of the cooperatives. So Gujarat has a specific focus on promotion of cooperative sector in various aspects such as dairy, sugar and banking. The cooperative sector has also helped in the growth of the
good.
Gujarat model.
As you said, you narrated very good positive points about Gujarat. One of the top 5 largest economy, industrialist.
Yes, sir.
1/3 of the exports. There are many more, positive. But despite all this positive, at the end of the day, as a government, it's a welfare state. What is the Human Development Index of Gujarat?
Sir, I'll have to read about it, sir.
Just tell me what was the rank out of 28 states and what are the union territories? Where it ranked?
Sir, I don't remember the exact rank of Gujarat in the 28 states. However,
Since you have been living there, so
Yes.
Human Development Index is one of the important indicator wherein we assess the lifestyle, livelihood of a person living there. So it's a 21.
Sir.
Why it was so low despite the good governance model?
Sir, Gujarat government's focus on investments in industrialization and agriculture has certainly boosted the output of Gujarat. However, there are still certain challenges in the social sector. But with continued government efforts, the social indicators have been improving, sir. For example, I can quote the maternal mortality rate of Gujarat. In 2000 and 2001, it was around 200. However, right now, with the continued government efforts, it has decreased to 57, sir.
Can we say there is a rural-urban divide wherein they have concentrated more on the urban side, not on the rural side? Is it a correct argument?
So to a certain extent, there is a rural-urban divide in Gujarat as well. So because of that, the focus, the benefits of the industrialization have not been able to fully reach to the rural sectors. This has been one of the factors leading to the regional disparities in the Gujarat.
Okay, one more question. The prohibition of sale of alcohol or
Yes.
production, sale and distribution. So, is there any negative impact on such policy?
So because of the liquor prohibition, Gujarat government has been losing out on the revenue which can be generated from the sale of liquor, sir.
What else?
So the negative points.
Have you ever heard about the huge tragedy that
Yes.
comes up in
Yes,
the
sir. Yes.
many times in the media? You would have encountered recently in Bihar.
Yes, sir.
It was so prominent. The Bihar also one state which prohibited the liquor.
Yes.
The same thing happens often in Nagaland and Mizoram also. So these are the 4 states which have completely banned the alcohol.
Yes, sir.
So one is a huge tragedy. Why it is so? And this is a directly linked, this policy, with the tragedy.
Yes, sir. Because the liquor is not available legally in the state, so people tend to purchase liquor through illegal means. In that way, the spurious liquor sales start increasing. So that is why the huge tragedy is directly linked to the liquor
So
prohibition
in Tamil
policy.
Nadu, there's a surplus drink everywhere, but still there also huge tragedy. We can't directly blame, or this one could be the reason.
Sir, it could be one of the reasons.
Okay. So if at all you have been given a charge to repeal this particular policy, and you will, is it possible? And is it a welcome step? Since you told revenue generation will be there, tourist inflow will be much more. There won't be any black marketing. There are many more negative positives, right? So considering you are living in Vadodara, so would you recommend this step?
Sir, in my opinion, I would not recommend removing the prohibition. Rather, I would focus on increasing the legal enforcement and law enforcement mechanisms in order to strengthen the ban, so as to address the sale of illegal liquor and all the problems that are pertaining with the weak enforcement of the ban, sir. However, the liquor ban enjoys public support. So, in my opinion, it should be continued, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Harshita,
Sir,
I'm a little perplexed. You became a CA at the age of 21
sir.
and still you haven't opted for commerce and accountancy. Why is that?
Sir, honestly, it was only out of my curiosity and interest in international relations and political science, which encouraged me to take this decision of choosing PSR as my optional instead of commerce and accountancy. Because for the past 5 to 6 years, I had been learning commerce and accountancy. And so I wanted to learn something different. And UPSC provided me with that opportunity.
Wouldn't that have given you a comparative advantage? Having commerce and accountancy and especially specializing in a tough course like CA?
So maybe it would have. However, my curiosity got the best out of me, sir.
I'll take it on face value. Now, the world is going through a flux when it comes to certain supranational entities. Now, these tech companies and their promoters have become supranational entities. And they have now started to threaten or change and alter world politics. What is this new phenomena that is coming these days? And could you elaborate on this, giving few examples of leaders of these companies changing the nature of world politics?
So recently, as you mentioned that these entities are becoming supranational institutions, then they are starting to have a significant influence on the politics of the countries as well. So the foreign policies are now starting to get influenced by the opinions of these leaders.
Like,
To quote one example, sir, George Soros comes to my mind. It is alleged that his involvement has led to certain disruptions in the politics of India as well, and the politics of Russian economy. So
let's come to something current. Elon Musk.
Yes,
He's
sir.
threatened politics in 2 countries.
Yes, sir. Sir, Elon Musk has recently raised the issue of the grooming gangs which have been operating in UK. So it has been seen as a direct attack on the UK government. And secondly, sir, I'm not able to recall
Done
this.
something in Germany.
Yes, yes, sir.
What is that?
Sir, in Germany, Elon Musk has been urging the voters to vote for a far-right group. I think it's AFD, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So he's urging the voters to vote in a certain way, and which is also impacting the domestic politics of Germany as well, sir.
Good. Now, what are the, US has come out with this new AI law very recently. during last couple of days. What is this new AI ban that they are trying to impose on the rest of the world?
Sir, I'll have to read more about it, sir.
All right. Now, let's come to a little bit of commerce and accountancy, since you specialize in that. Now, what are the major issues in terms of implementation of IBC with a special focus on Section 12A?
Sir, I'm unable to recall the section.
Okay. What are the issues in IBC right now, implementation?
So the first issue that comes to my mind is the unprofessional management of the committee of creditors.
Okay.
In that, it has been seen that the creditors try to put their interest first, and the purpose of the committee with respect to the rejuvenation of the company and making the company back on its feet is how somewhat missed. So that is first point that comes to my mind.
All right, taken.
And secondly, sir, there are issues with the valuation of the assets of the company as well. So the assets are often overvalued, and when it comes to the final stage of resolution, so that market value is not fetched as what it is valued. So that also creates a gap in the valuation and the actual earnings from the assets. So that is the second issue, sir. And the third issue which comes to my mind is the time has been taken. So the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code had initially facilitated the complete resolution should happen in 330 days maximum, considering the moratorium and the timelines, everything. So it should be completed within 330 days. However, right now it is seen that the resolution time is almost 2 to 2.5 years, sir. So the purpose of IBC has not been served till now.
All right, taken. Now, what is this proposed three-phase Israel-Hamas ceasefire project that is being proposed?
So, sir, the US, Qatar and Egypt, they have been mediating to facilitate a ceasefire deal between Hamas and Israel. So, in this three-phase ceasefire, the first phase would focus on the exchange of hostages with particular focus on the women and children, sir.
Okay.
So, the Hamas has agreed to the ceasefire agreement.
What is phase 2?
The phase 2 would focus on the male soldiers, the exchange of the male soldiers who have been taken as hostages. And apart from that, Hamas is requesting a complete withdrawal of the Israeli military from its region.
What is phase 3?
And in the phase 3, sir, it is focused on exchanging the remaining hostages. Apart from that, a redevelopment plan. It has been proposed that Israel would help in the redevelopment of the region which has been affected from the war.
Right. My last question. Should RBI change its policy rate stance from targeting headline inflation to core inflation?
Sir, in my opinion, the current policy of RBI is correct, and RBI should not change its stance to core inflation, as the headline inflation captures all the parameters of the economy, and shifting it to the core inflation would perhaps bring the inflation down to the manageable level. However, it would ignore the actual state of price rise in the economy, sir. So that is why headline inflation would be the right approach, in my opinion, sir.
All right, okay. Thank you.
Okay.